Hi there guys, Harvey here. Another quick review of the Palace game, Palace away to Chelsea, and it of course ended in a defeat for Palace. Main thing for me is just frustration. I think going into the game, I was fairly optimistic. I thought that we could at least give Chelsea a good game, you know. Had results there in the past where we played really well, really fought hard and managed to grind out really key results in previous seasons. This time round it wasn't to be. I was happy with the starting lineup, but the bench there were some question marks. You know, we didn't have Maya or Camarasa on the bench, very defensive-minded bench, and in the end, I think that cost us slightly, because come the second half and Chelsea obviously get their opener, really beautifully worked goal for that, and no complaints. Just, you know, we defended really well in the first half. I thought Cahill and Tompkins were very solid. Guaita in goal as well, really good save from Pulisic early on. Although Chelsea were dominating on the ball, they weren't really opening us up. We were sitting quite deep. There were spaces in between the lines, between the midfield and defence. But as soon as the ball was played into Tammy Abraham or Pulisic or Willian, the defence were on them. And it looked like Chelsea was starting to get frustrated going into half-time, 0-0. Obviously, they get their opener. And as I say, I don't blame the defence for that. It was just really beautifully worked from Chelsea. Lovely finish from Abraham, 1-0. That's exactly the point where we start to open up and we start to actually play. The first half, we were very deep and we struggled to keep possession of the ball inside Chelsea's half. We rarely had the ball in Chelsea's half, to be honest, in the first half of the game. And when we did, we really struggled to keep hold of it and really create anything worthwhile, you know. Really some sloppy passes. To be fair, Chelsea deserve credit for that because they pressed very well. Had a full press as well for most of the game. Whenever they lost the ball, they were on it. And Willian was one of the best players at that, and I think deserved to get man of the match because of his performance. Not just attacking in his attacking play, but defensively as well. Defensively, his press I thought was very good. And that was the main reason why I think we struggled in the first half to create anything worthwhile. In the whole game, we had only a couple of shots, I think, at Kepa. And yeah, and that's credit to Chelsea and the way Frank Lampard's obviously set them up when they lose the ball. But in the second half, you know, we then started to open up, as I say, when we went 1-0 down, and we started to actually go at Chelsea a bit more confidence to try and say, right, let's get back into this. And again, I'm not necessarily against us setting up like that against Chelsea and the way we approach the game. But when you go 1-0 down, obviously, then you have to change things up. And that's what we did. And we started to go into it. Again, not really testing the keeper much, but starting to play some nice little passages of play, holding the ball a little bit longer as well, which was nice. But the problem was on the bench, we had no attacking options to come off the bench to help. We had Benteke there. Schlupp came on. Benteke, again, Roy, he started making these subs, and there have been better substitutions in recent weeks. But this week, I have to criticise him again on his subs. I thought Schlupp was the right one to make, but to then bring on, and obviously Ward, you can't, unfortunately, getting injured. What can you say there? Go back to the summer, you know, you always run the risk of you know, having Ward getting injured and no right back being available, and the club made that risk not signing a right back in the summer, and now it could come back to bite us. Hopefully he's not out for a long time. But those subs I understand, but for the third sub to bring on McCarthy, I know we were 2-0 down at that point, but you know, no change in the system as well. You know, Schlupp kind of just slotted straight into the midfield. Zaha didn't switch wings. There was a lot tactically I thought we could have done better. Although we grew into the game a little bit when we went 1-0 down, and after the second goal went in, we just stopped because that was game over really. But I would have loved us to have changed up tactically, maybe go 4-4-2, maybe just try something different. And I have to criticise Roy there because I don't think he did enough when we went 1-0 down to try and then go on and actually get back in the game. The players tried a little bit, but nowhere near enough. So overall, quite disappointing really. I thought we would actually give it a really good go, and in the end, as I say, I wasn't too unhappy with us going in 0-0. I don't think you can be away at Chelsea at the end of the day. But the performance, I was like, hopefully we can have a bit better of a performance in the second half and actually try and hold the ball and create a little bit more if we can when we get the ball in the second half. Wasn't to be. End up losing, but go onwards and upwards into the next game, and fingers crossed. Obviously, international break coming up now, we can regroup and go at it again. Liverpool will be next, very tough game, but Chelsea won and they deserve to win, so credit to them. But question marks over how we tactically set up, especially after going 1-0 down. I thought we could have done a lot more to actually go on and get back in the game.